If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.
To my right, we have the fabulous, sensational Bryant McKinnine.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up.
And before the season started, you know, we thought we had a good football team, but we were missing a couple of pieces, right? And the major one was like, okay, who's going to play our left tackle position? You know, we had Orr was there and no one was at right tackle, but like, there's got to be somebody out there. And somehow Ozzie pulled some magic and got Bryant to join our team. And man, he really, really solidifies our offensive line and gives us the firepower to run the ball, to pass the ball, and just make our offense so much more dynamic than it was before we had him. So, man, it's such a pleasure to introduce him tonight and have him on our football team. And so glad he's a Raven now and no longer one of those other purple guys. I still get to wear purple. Yeah, purple's his favorite color, so he wasn't going to go to any other team.
Brian, welcome out, man. Thanks for coming out. We really appreciate it, man. Especially on a night where you guys had to go practice and it's not like a normal Monday. Really cool of you to do this. This whole Baltimore experience for you, this is kind of a whirlwind, you know? This was 2 weeks before the season started. You had no idea you were going to be here. What is it like now, 3 months removed? What's this? Give me sort of the idea of what Baltimore's been like for you.
It's definitely been a fun ride. When I first got here, opening up with Pittsburgh was very big. So that was what I heard a lot when I first got here. And I think we're just on a great path. We're 7-3 right now, so I'm just looking forward to continuing the season.
No doubt, man. And you, just the whole being around guys like Ray Lewis and Ed Reed, I know they were really campaigning for you to come here. What has that meant for you to be able to play alongside some of those guys? We'll deal with the Florida State hat that we see in this room a little bit later.
We can ignore the Florida State hat we see because that's like irrelevant. But, we can talk about the U again. Ed Reed, Ray Lewis, you know, represent the U. But they campaigned for me to get here, and I couldn't let them down once I got here.
All right. Hey, I need my sound engineer, John, up here. We got to get Mike switched out. We'll try this. Here, Brian, talk to me again real quick.
Mic check.
Oh, there he goes. There we go. All right, that's better now. Fantastic. So, Brian, you know, you are now in the midst of a kind of a magical season. You guys are at the top of the AFC North. This is sort of, did you have any idea that when you didn't know where you're playing, could you have even imagined that this is going to be where you're going to be at?
Not at all. I didn't even think about Baltimore at that point. I was just kind of clueless for a minute, and then other Hurricanes like Reggie Wayne was asking me to come to Indianapolis, and then Willis McGahee and Mountain Bronco out there in Denver. And then Ray and Ed started hitting me up, and then Ray just started hitting me up every day to the point where he's like, there is no decision to make. It's just tell your agent to get it done. So we got it done.
Brandon, it's safe to say that when Ray tells you to do something, you just sort of, do it, right?
Everybody thinks that like Ozzie is the genius that gets the players here. Right. But like when you really need to pull the trigger, it's like Vontae Leach, okay, yeah, Ray got him here. Right. Big Bryant McKinnine, yeah, Ray got him here. And then even that trade we got, with Lee Evans, that whole trade, like Ray Lewis did the trade.
That was him.
Yeah,
he was on the phone.
It was all Ray.
That is wild.
It was all Ray Lewis. But I mean, just these Hurricane guys, they're just so smart, and I can't even believe that they would even hang out with somebody that would even wear a Florida State hat. They're so intelligent. Like, how are you gonna even insult my man's intelligence by wearing a hat like that?
Let's deal with this right now. Because Brian, you walked in, you brought some crew with you. I noticed that. I'm assuming some family.
Yes.
It's Thanksgiving week. It's a holiday. We're all happy to have the family around.
All right, she went to Florida State. That's the only reason why she can wear the hat, but I really don't allow it in my house.
Did you have to spray it with cologne before she came in the house?
Get that stench off of it. We can't have this around here.
Not at all.
All right, so Bryant McKinnine, Brendan Imadacia. Brendan, give me your first thought when you saw Bryant walk into the locker room the first time. What was your immediate reaction the first time you saw this man?
Well, I played against him. We were in the NFC North together, so every year I played against him, and we always knew okay, that's a big man right there. But I was always playing special teams, so I never really went against him. So one day in practice, for some reason, I was going against him. I don't know why, whose idea it was. But, he just reached out his hand and touched me, and he has Jedi power in his hand. I flew. I don't even know if he really had any physical contact with me, but I just flew, and I was like, that's it. From now on, I'm never touching him. I'm going next to him ever again. So then, fast forward a couple weeks later, and he had to block me in practice again, and I was on the buddy system. Okay, it's a run play. Okay, I got you. I'm just gonna backpedal. Don't even touch me. But
don't hurt me.
But yeah, so when it's when you're watching that Jets game and you just saw the offensive line just destroying that Jets defense, it was this man right here just enforcing his will on the other team, and it's just when the offense can just have that kind of ball control and grind down like minute after minute after minute, it makes the defense so much better, and you just control the game. And he's one of the big reasons why we're able to do that.
Brian, how satisfying is a game like, and we'll bring up yesterday because there's so many games where it's so evident how well your unit plays. And yesterday it was so unbelievably evident. You guys keep the quarterback on his feet. You're able to run the ball for over 100 yards and really get a push up front and work against one of the better defensive lines again with a team like Cincinnati. How gratifying are those days where it's not easy for you? You guys don't have stats. You know, we can't really look back and say we know you had a good game for that reason. But when it's that obvious to everyone how well you played, how gratifying?
It's definitely a great feeling, and it's also a great feeling to have Ben Grubbs back, who's been out for a few weeks. He is somebody who helps me out a lot because he knows offense like the back of his hand. So, working with him helps out a lot, and having veterans like Matt Burke and Mike Orr who's been here. So, a lot of people wasn't sure how it was going to pan out with us because you had a lot of people playing out of position or who didn't take a lot of reps, during this preseason. But we came together pretty well.
Were you chuckling every time someone asked a question like, "Man, no off season, you're coming in, you don't even play in the preseason. How you guys going to come together so quickly?"
We heard that a lot actually because none of us actually were there. Mike Orr was playing left tackle, and Yonder wasn't there much. Burke wasn't there much. I mean, Ben was probably the only one that hit the same position, so a lot of people were saying that a lot, but we, came together well.
No doubt, man.
Now, Bryant, you just mentioned that, and you mentioned you came in end of the preseason, and you're playing the Pittsburgh Steelers week 1, and I can't think of a better way to endear yourself to the home crowd here in Baltimore than absolutely dominating James Harrison the way you did week 1. Could you have envisioned a better debut here in Baltimore?
That was a great introduction for me. A lot of pressure at the same time because I hadn't played in the game since like January of 2011, and for that to be my first game against a rivalry team and somebody as good as James Harrison. So.
Now, you just mentioned getting Ben Grubbs back. Obviously, you've had a lot of guys switching around. Andre Gerard filled in nicely, but a guy's a natural center, played some right guard early in his career. But do you feel having Grubbs back that you guys can really come together and play your best football now as you get into the second half of the year?
I definitely think so. He just knows the offense better. So when you have somebody that's confident in what they're doing, that makes you feel a little better as well. So I definitely think so.
Bryant McKinnine, Brendan Iamadejo, join us out here at High Tops. It's Monday Night Live here on WNST. Let me talk to both of you guys about this. BA, I'll start with you. Playing on Thanksgiving this week. Did you grow up every year on Thanksgiving watching football or going out and playing a backyard game or something like that? How important was football for you for your Thanksgiving?
Yeah, your Thanksgiving starts, you're going to sit down, you're going to watch some football, you're going to eat some turkey, but like if football's not on, like what are you going to do?
Right.
When you're a kid, you might go play some football in the street and horse around with your friends, but really it's like you're going to eat turkey and you're going to watch football. That's what Thanksgiving's all about. And so for us to be playing on Thanksgiving, I think that's pretty awesome. It's a great opportunity for the Ravens to showcase, the type of team that we have. And we've had a lot of national games this year, but just the magnitude of this game,
sure.
With so much on the line and the story with the Harbaugh versus Harbaugh. So it's going to make for an awesome game. It's definitely going to be the game of the day on Thanksgiving for sure.
Brian, can you think of like a memory of a day when you were growing up on Thanksgiving and running out and throwing the football around or anything?
Well, he definitely summed up everything. The whole, being able to just relax and just watch football on TV was definitely something I've been used to doing. This is my first time playing on Thanksgiving, so it'll be a fun experience.
Have you thought about, I'm glad you're here because you're a large man. I'm sure that Thanksgiving you enjoyed it. Brendan mentioned food and football. Which one did you enjoy more, the food or the football?
Probably the food.
I'm with you.
So this almost gets ruined a little bit now at Thanksgiving this year because you guys can't go and pig out or anything like that beforehand.
We can do it the day after.
The day after I was going to ask.
But the most important ingredient when you're cooking Thanksgiving food is a win. It's a win. You know how good? I'm over here to my leftovers. This man was like, no, you gotta start preparing the turkey. You gotta inject. No, you think of how great the chef is gonna be if you win that game.
Right.
It's gonna be ridiculous.
Food is a lot better.
What's your favorite food on the Thanksgiving table?
Macaroni and cheese. Baked macaroni and cheese, my favorite.
Okay.
BA, good? That's pretty good. BA, what about you?
Man, I'm like one of those guys where you gotta eat everything in one bite.
So you a little bit of everything.
Yeah, so like you gotta have like the gravy, the turkey, the cranberry, the mashed potato, and a little bit of corn all in one bite. So like you eat and you look real funny, but that's like the best way, just a concoction of flavors. An explosion, like just delicious.
All sort of.
Savory.
Do you do like the Thanksgiving sandwich the day after where you put like cranberry, potato, and turkey all on one sandwich?
I'll do a sandwich after, but I really like just that extra slice of pumpkin pie that's sitting in there.
If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.